Yo, what is up, guys? It's me, Eve, again here playing Tokyo Ghoul Break the Chains. And as the new mode has finally come to the servers, if you don't know what I'm talking about, this is the new Abyssal Battlefield is out. So you can play this mode and earn currency that allows you to get yourself some random chests for the tactics. Tactics are also new perks that basically you can put on the character, and now they are going to be active. They're going to give you some benefits in terms of your fights. So let's take a look at all of the tactics. I'm going to tell you what I think about them, what are the better ones, what are the worst ones, and so on. So we're basically going to rank them we're going to take a look at all of them. So first of all, obviously, I think we should start from the top. So we're going to go from top to bottom and see all of them. And right from the bat, probably the best one out of all of the tactics is reducing all enemies' regeneration rate and restoration rate by 100%. This tactic alone makes the best character in this game useless. So the Green Owl used to be probably, arguably, the best character. Maybe Jason would be better a little bit, but arguably in terms of the use, he was probably the best one out of all of them. Maybe aside from just Jason and with all. Other than that, he was definitely at least in top 3 there. So this tactic makes him so useless. Also, it really hits hard on the blue Hinami as well. So Teen Hinami, if you want to be specific there. She has the healing capacity that is insanely OP, and now that healing is basically gone. Also, that does still hit on the Green Toka, because Green Toka is all about HP. Her additional damage comes from HP, and if you are basically getting hit by the enemy and now you don't get healed back with the regeneration rate, with the restoration rate, it doesn't matter which one, or without just healing or anything like that, you are not getting back that HP. So without that HP, you're now doing less damage because she's all about HP damage. So she basically scales from HP. The more HP you have, the more damage you're gonna have. And now she could kind of do baby damage, but is it really gonna be dependent on who starts first? So if your Anteiku is capable of starting first versus other enemy teams, then you're fine. Don't worry, you're gonna be still fine. You're starting first, you're debuffing them to shit with the Wit Owl, you're doing enough damage to almost kill them on the first turn, or maybe even kill them, or a team wipe or something like that, then it's fine. But if you're not starting first, Anteiku for you is gonna be very hard to play now. Because again, if you're getting a lot of damage into you early on into the first round, so if you're not starting, you're basically getting hit for free. And that means now your Green Toka is going to be pretty useless because she's not going to do any damage without her having like max out HP basically. Same goes for Teen Hinami. Now she only gives you buffs. She still has a lot of like crazy buffs that she can give. Like if we go into the Teen Hinami abilities, like one of her reasons why you always want to play her is these ones. So like increase basic stats. She increases max HP in here, so boost HP related stats by 20%, defense increase. There's also a lot of stuff that she buffs, like a basic stats increase as well. All of that stuff is still gonna be working. It's still gonna be good. She's still gonna be worth it to play. But again, healing, this one is really hard. Goes hard versus the Anteiku. So overall, I think this is one of the best ones, maybe even top 1, because just it makes one of the teams and one of the best characters in the game basically useless in PvP. Second one, the shield tactic. When the battle starts, grant yourself a shield equal to 5% of your max HP for 1 turn. I think this is like a pretty shitty one. To be honest, there's like who aside from like CCG Psy Arima or like an Anteiku can actually pull this up. Because Aogiri, we already seen that, for example, the new Ayato that came in with the Yukata Ayato, basically, he was shit because he was giving shields, but those shields were so small because Aogiri doesn't have the HP advantage. They don't have enough HP for this type of stuff. And because of that, he wasn't really played. Some people tried to play him, but it looked like kind of shitty. he was doing baby damage, and even his shields were not doing enough to make him good. So in that sense, I think this is the same thing. So maybe for the sake of Anteiku, this could be good. But CCG, maybe only Psy Arima if you have him like on triple S and you're still running him in the team, then sure, you can use this one. It's going to be fine for him. Other than that, no one really cares about this thing. Fortified Armor Tactic. When your battle starts, increase your defense by 8%. I think this is much better. Like, this is much better than this. I would say this one is a pretty decent one. There's nothing too crazy. There's no restrictions on turns. So that's good. So you're not going to buff it for only for one time or two. So this is a fine one. This is a decent one. So I'm kind of in the middle there. It's not too OP. It's not too bad. So a very good one. Sure, you can put it on someone. That's for sure good. The Potent Tactic. When your current HP is above 75%, increase defense by 15. So this is another tactic that where you are all about starting. If you are starting your battles most of the time, this is great. This is a really, really good one. If you're not starting first most of the time, then this is useless for you. Because what I mean by that, you're gonna say for me, like, your current HP is like, even if you don't start first, your current HP is still 75%. And what I mean here is when you don't start first and the enemy starts first, it means that they have the advantage because you don't have the buffs yet. You know what I mean? So most of the buffs don't start with the battle start. You know what I mean? So the passive skills, some of the characters need to activate them by, for example, when your turn starts or when you attack the enemy. You know what I mean there? So most of those staffs starts only after you start attacking. So if you're not attacking, you're gonna get more damage into you. You're gonna get more debuffs on you as well. So you're basically starting second turn, or like your turn, with already being really, really debuffed, as well as really on a much lower HP than your opponent. And so you're gonna be doing lower damage. And in that sense, it's much better if you start first, that you have the defense increase. So you're gonna do the damage, and now you're also debuffed the enemy, you're also buffed yourself, and now there's more chances that you're gonna save this effect for yourself for the next turn. So because you're buffed, obviously that means your survivability is gonna be much higher, your defense and everything. Like, let's say you're playing Anteiku, right? So even if you just on the first turn you buff yourself with the Hinami buff, you're already getting some of the buffs from her, and so your survivability is much higher than it would be without like any buffs, or if you didn't start first, right? So this is where this would come in much more handier, and this would be much better because you can take it for longer turns. So more than one turn. But if you're starting second, this is done after one turn. So hopefully you understood what I mean there. So next one, Power Strike Tactic. I do like this one. Increase damage dealt by active skills by 15%. This is really good. Like, this is definitely better than mid. 15% increase just in general for any active skill. Imagine you put this on like, I don't know, green Arima or red Arima. You put this on even Juzo, doesn't matter. Like, doesn't matter who you put this on, except for like supports, obviously. This is gonna work great. So yeah, just put them on whoever is your, like, whoever you have in those type of tactics, whoever you can put them on, who's going to be your main DPS, just put it on him, as well as who does the damage with the active skill. So don't, like, I don't remember who is in terms of who you can put the DPS ones, but if there's like a Psy Ayato there, don't put this on him, because Psy Ayato doesn't do damage with his active skill. He does damage with his passives. So be sure to know that, okay? Another one, increases crit rate by 12%. I think this is more of a shitty one. To be honest, crit rate by 12% is not that crazy. If this was like 40%, sure, this would be fucking sick. But 12%, it's okay. Maybe some of the characters, like Red Arima, again, are into this type of stuff, but most of the time, this is not gonna like do big differences, because a lot of characters already have a very high like crit rate stat, So those 12% are not gonna like change anything much. So because of that, I think the burst tactic is kind of shit. Bloodstained tactic. When the taking damage increases pen rate by 6% for 2 turns up to 1 stack. This also, again, I do like the pen rate, but I think the number of pen rate buff is too low. Like, this is 2 turns and only 6%. As well as there's no, like, more stacks than this. If this was, like, a 3 stacks at least, or maybe the 1 stack, but this would be, like, let's say 20%. I think that would be much better. 6% I think is too low. It's nothing too crazy to, like, you're not gonna even feel that your pen rate is much higher or you're doing any big damage from this 6% pen rate buff. So I don't know. I don't feel like this is really good or anything like that. So killing tactic burst. When killing a target, increase your all stats by 3% for 2 turns. This is another one probably for someone like Jason, probably the best. Jason type characters who can really kill fast, so like Augie also will probably like this because they are killing much faster than any other team. CCG could also kind of like this one as well. And I think overall, again, 3% increase on all stats is not that high. If this was at least like 10, I think that would be insane. But 3% is pretty low, and I think overall this is just a normal one. Like, it's not shit. I would rather take this one over like a pen rate or the crit rate increase. Just all stats by 3% is still better for 2 turns at least. Also, I would take this much more freely than all those two. So I'm going to stick with this. So this is like a normal one. Next one, burst bombardment tactic. When using a single target, active skill has a 15% chance to deal extra damage equal to 120%. So this one's I'm always iffy on the gacha type of stuff. So when there is a gacha type of stuff on the skill, it's usually shit. So because again, 15% is pretty low, to be honest. Like, let's be honest, this is pretty low, but the output is really good. So like extra 120% of damage is very good. Like, let's be honest, this is very good, but the percentage is very low. So this might get handy in like 1 in, let's say, 10 games. You're gonna get lucky on this one, or like it's gonna depend on your luck basically. This is just pure gacha. If you can roll this a lot of the time, you're gonna be this is good. If you can't roll this at all, then this is pointless. Like, this is useless on your on here. Like, if you're gonna be getting this 1 in 10 games, and even then in that game you already was winning, for example, then this is kind of pointless. I don't know. So I'll give it like mid to better. Like, it has a high ceiling because like it could, like, let's say it procs every time. Like, you can get that lucky that it procs every time, and then this is like insanely big damage. But again, this is a gacha. This is just 15% chance. It's not like 50% chance when you have a 50-50 and you can get it. No, this is just a gacha basically. So it's gonna just purely depend on your luck. So I would put it into mid, but it has a very high ceiling. It could be OP. You know what I mean? So it's somewhere in there, depending just purely on your luck. The assistance tactic. So I do like this one as well. Effective also in a backup state, so you can put this on any backup character or maybe even on any support. Increase all allied characters' damage dealt by 12%. Really, really good one. Really solid. One of the best ones in this one. Really like it. Really, really like it. So I would, if you get this one, you're cooking. You're fucking cooking with this one. This is probably like top 3 for sure. I think this is my top 3, maybe definitely top 5. But I think arguably there is a few ones that could be better. So roulette tactic as well, the last one. After using a single target skill, there is a 40% chance to randomly inflict either blood pierce for 2 turns or the incapacitation for 1 turn to the enemy target. When attacked, the target takes additional damage for 10% of your blood pierce applied attack for 2 turns. Incapacitation, unable to take any action. Damage taking increased by 35%. Any attack suffered cancels the effect. So this is another gacha, but with a much better percentage. So if you have percent here, 15, this one is going to be 20. So because Blood Pierce is alright, but this is just like 10% damage increase, like compared to that 10%, like there's 12% here, there is another 15% here, so it's nothing too crazy. But the incapacitation is really, really good. So, but basically, like, you see here, you have 40%, but 40% means you're only gonna apply one of these. So it's another 50-50 here that you're gonna need to win to get the incapacitation. And that means this is not 40%, this is 20% to roll incapacitation. So in that sense, you are still getting something good, like a Blood Pierce. This is like how I think this one should have been. Like you should have had two effects here, not only this one, but also another one, and have had like a better percentage here. Because 40% is still good. You're gonna roll it most of the time. And in that sense, you also kind of like gonna need to roll incapacitation, but you have a better chance because you have the better chance of applying this overall. So 50-50 in there, you're mostly likely gonna be rolling the incapacitation pretty often. So I do like this one. This is probably my second. So overall, I do like this one the most. Top one, top two probably. I'll give this one, I think, top three, because just purely this is a backup. Because you can put it on any character. This one you can't really put it on any character. You can put this on literally everyone, and especially in the backup state characters, and you're gonna be good. You can still apply this one. But for example, this one, if you're putting this on a backup character, you can't do anything. So because of that, I'm giving this to this one. The fourth one is going to be this. I do like this one a lot. Fifth one, I'll probably give to this one. Again, this is I don't really like gacha stuff. I don't like that they're making this like the tactics itself already being gacha. I really don't like this. But this is what it is, right? So I think with the high ceiling, as high as it can be, it could be a top one, to be honest, in terms of, again, depending on your luck. So I'm giving this top four, and after that it just goes like everything is pretty the same. So it's like this one is next, then I will probably give this one. If you can start this one as well, then it's probably like a crit rate. And these ones are pretty shit, so like this one next, and then this. So this is how I would go with this tactics. So hopefully you liked the video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment as well as tell me about what do you think about the tactics. Do you like the gacha stuff in them, as well as what tactics did you get today? We're going to be doing the new abyssal mode on the stream today as well. We're going to try to get both of the chest in here. So we're going to try to get the chest and this chest as well, and see what we get from them. So if you don't want to miss those, you can join in on Discord. I always post notifications beforehand, before the streams, so you will not miss anything. Other than that, hopefully you have a great day, and I'll see you on the next one.